Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today we're in Wandsworth Common in southwest London and we're going to be doing a review of the fitness trail inside the park. Before we begin the review, let's take a look what the park actually has to offer. First up, there's a pull-up station with 3 pull-up bars of different heights. Next, we have a station with a single log. We have a hurdle station with 4 hurdles of varying heights. Next, we have a station with parallel bars. After that, we have a monkey bar station. And finally, we have a sit-up station. Okay, now we've taken a look at what the park has to offer, let's get into the review. Commencing with the pull-up station, this area boasts 3 bars of varying heights. The inclusion of 3 bars facilitates simultaneous use by multiple individuals and provides versatility and accessibility, allowing people of different skill levels and builds to perform a range of exercises. Despite the range of bar heights, I found the tallest bar to be notably short. Even with my knees bent, I barely cleared the floor. I believe that individuals over 180 centimeters with longer legs might find that their knees touch the ground when fully extended, compromising the effectiveness and fluidity of the movement. Having a lower bar proves beneficial for beginners, engaging in exercises like rows, straight bar dips, and assisted movements. However, I believe the variation of heights could have been more strategically planned. If it was up to me, I would keep the lowest and tallest bar while introducing a third taller one, thus eliminating the middle one. I believe this would have been a more logical arrangement, as I believe there seems to be little that can be done on the middle bar that cannot be achieved on the lower one. In terms of build quality, the bars were generally sturdy, with one notable exception. The tallest bar exhibited a degree of looseness and rotation during use, impeding the smoothness of the movements. Going back to a positive note, the choice of wood fibers as the ground material was appreciated. This decision proved especially useful on the day of my visit, when the grass was quite muddy, potentially posing a slight hazard during the transitions between exercises. Next, let's take a look at the single elevated log. The purpose of this log was not very clear as there was no signs at all next to it. However, I did use it to perform push-ups and decline push-ups. I also tried to perform tricep dips and sit-ups, but it was too low for the tricep dips to get full range of motion, and it was too high to hook my feet for the sit-up. One thing I did like about this log was that the top of the log was flattened, making it much more nicer and balanced for the hands compared to the standard training log. Overall, there's not much to say about this log. Personally, I would not use it as it did not provide any benefit that I could not achieve from the ground. Next, let's take a look at the hurdle station. The hurdle station has 4 hurdles which progressively get taller. It was good that there was several heights of the hurdles as it can provide a varied challenge, and I thought the height of the tallest was a good height for most people. On the other hand, I feel it would have been better if the levels were more varied, as the height between the 3rd and the 4th was significant, but the 1st, 2nd and 3rd were all a similar height. The tallest hurdle had wood fibers which provided a good grip on the ground. However, the other 3 just had the earth, which on the day was muddy, making it slippery and dangerous. There was a decent distance between the 3rd and 4th hurdle, meaning if you wanted to practice only on the tallest hurdle, you could. The tallest hurdle was quite versatile as it could be used for other exercises such as squat jumps, step ups and incline push-ups. The hurdles overall were very solid and I felt very secure when I jumped on them. Next, let's take a look at the parallel bars. The height of the parallel bar was decent, but for my preference I found it a bit low. I had to tuck my knees to perform dips and I personally prefer to keep my legs locked out. With my arms fully locked out, I was able to extend my legs fully without touching the ground. Anyone over 6 foot with longer legs would likely also find the bars a bit low. On the other hand, the low height meant that the bars could be used for other exercises such as straight bar rows. The width of the bars was overly wide in my opinion, which I personally did not like. I felt like it really affected my range of motion that I could perform the dip in. On top of this, the condition of the parallel bars was quite poor. The bars were loose, which caused them to rotate and bounce, which made dips very uncomfortable and increased the risk of an accident and injury. Another odd thing I noticed was that the parallel bars were placed on a slight hill, which meant that one post was higher than the other, which is not great as it would mean you'd be working one side more than the other when performing dips. Next, let's take a look at the monkey bar station. The height of the monkey bar station was slightly low. I'm 180 centimeters and my feet almost touch the floor. Anyone above that height would likely need to tuck their legs while going across it. To be honest, it almost feels like this station was made for kids, as even the logs to get up to the bar were very close. I'd say the distance was about 3 to 4 foot. The bars had a good grip, however many of them were unfortunately loose, which made me lose grip slightly at some points. Another defect I noticed with these monkey bars is that the log on top is slightly rotated to one side, making it unbalanced. As such, you'll be working one side of your body harder than the other. On the positive side, since the bars of the monkey bar were open and had no wood on the outer side, I was able to perform neutral grip pull-ups of different widths, which is great as not many calisthenics parks facilitate this amazing pull-up variation. Finally, let's take a look at the sit-up station, and I'll be honest, at first I had no idea what this station was meant to be, but luckily there was a sign that showed it was for sit-ups. The station itself was quite odd as I found it weirdly angled, but when I tried it for myself I found it was quite functional, allowing me to do both incline and decline sit-ups. The nature of the station also allowed accessibility to other exercises such as the decline and incline push-up, allowing beginners and more advanced trainees to modify the exercise to their level. The build of the station seemed quite solid and I did not notice any major defects. Now we've looked at the equipment, let's take a look at the area and accessibility. The fitness trail is located in Wandsworth Common in southwest London. This outdoor fitness area benefits from its proximity to Wandsworth Common Station, which is conveniently positioned just outside. Additionally, there are several bus links outside of the park, the closest being 7 minutes away from the fitness trail. It is worth noting, however, that both the bus and train services in the area operate at a frequency lower than the standard, which is an important consideration for those planning their commute to and from this park. For those who drive, parking around the common is amazing. You can park outside the common for most of the day for free. There's only a 1 hour window in between 11 AM and 12 PM in which you cannot park, which is very rare for London. After completing the training session, I strolled through the pleasant ambience of the common, discovering that the area boasts several picturesque ponds teeming with local wildlife, providing a serene and delightful backdrop to my post-training walk. Alright, now that we've thoroughly explored all aspects of the park, it's time to assign it a rating. Starting out with the variety of equipment. For variety, I rated this park a 3.5 out of 5. It has all of the basics you need to work both your upper and lower body. The equipment was also very accessible to people with different fitness levels and ages. Personally, I would have made a few adjustments to the height of some of the equipment to accommodate taller people, particularly the pull-up and monkey bars as they felt quite awkward to use. Next, let's talk about the quality of the equipment. For quality, I gave the park a 2 out of 5. Unfortunately, all of the equipment stations that had bars were loose and had some sort of imbalance that would make training on them uncomfortable. The dip station was particularly bad as it bounced, rotated and bended while in use. The pull-up bar and monkey bar station had similar quality issues as the bar would rotate as you would use it, which made movement very uncomfortable. The other 3 stations, which only had logs, were in pretty solid condition, otherwise this would have gotten a 1 out of 5. Next, let's talk about effectiveness. Concerning the effectiveness of the equipment, I've rated this trail a 2.5 out of 5. Unfortunately, due to wear, bad design and poor placement, the equipment was nowhere near as effective as it could have been. The pull-up, dip and monkey bar stations all were too low and had quality issues that had major effects on the exercises I performed. The dip station was particularly not well thought through as the bars were too wide apart and it was placed on a hill which made the levels of the bars uneven. On top of these issues, there was equipment such as the sit-up station and wooden log that seemed pointless as you could effectively perform the same exercise on the ground without the equipment. For my rating for location and accessibility, I give the trail a 3.5 out of 5. The park has decent transport links, although the services running for them are slightly slow. The common is also quite visually appealing and has a nice scenery, which bumps up this score. Overall, I rate this park a 2.8 out of 5. Although there was a good variety of equipment and the park was in a good location, it was greatly let down by the quality of the equipment. On top of that, I feel that the equipment placement and variety was not very well thought through, making it less efficient than it could have been. Okay guys, that's it for the review of this outdoor fitness area. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing. If you had any comments or have trained in this park and would like to leave additional feedback, please leave a comment below, and please do let me know if you want to review any other outdoor fitness areas. Until next time.